What's up, everybody? Welcome to the No Scrubs Allowed podcast. Seal, how you doing, buddy? The proud owner of Trevor Lawrence. When is the next
Yeah,
jersey coming?
man. I'm gonna wait a couple months on that one, probably. Hopefully, actually, I'm probably gonna wait till the regular season because fuck my luck. I'll get a 16 and then he'll come out wearing 18 or
Or
some
he'll
shit.
pull that same shit that he
Yeah,
was going to pull for the Jets, though, where he's just like, you know what? But the Jags are better off than the Jets, right?
you would think. I mean, when you think about the Jets, they got pretty good players on defense, and once they get rid of that head coach, I feel like it won't be such a
That's true.
toxic atmosphere.
That's true.
And as far as New York City and Jacksonville, Florida is concerned with all that extra money coming in, yeah, it's night and day. So it's probably a negative on his pockets. But yeah, man, Jacksonville's a good spot for him to go. I feel like we have a good defense as well. We got a lot of young talent, and we have a lot of weapons on offense for him to throw to, which is not the case in New York. Yeah, it's been a great weekend for me. I'm excited for sports again.
I know. I'm excited as well. We got
We got breaking out. We
do have
shit?
breaking news, but it's I'm gonna bring it up in just a second. But I'm happy about Tampa Bay as well because we looked like we finally turned back around for like a 3-week stretch. It looked pretty a one and done in the playoffs kind of game, but we seem to be clicking everything together. Antonio Brown now has a touchdown in back-to-back games when he didn't have anything before that. So we're starting to click. Mike Evans is tearing dudes up because now Antonio Brown's starting to play better. So now Mike Evans is all by himself. Gronk looks like himself. He needs to round into form. He's a little bit early. He's a couple weeks early. So I'm hoping he keeps that going for his 5-week stretch that he's going to be able to play well. So, but he started that stretch. Brady looks just as good as anything. And Devin White is out there, dude. His stats are always good, but if you're watching the games, which obviously I watch because I'm a fan, and like he's in every play. Just it doesn't matter if it's a sack or if it's a 20-yard gain. You see him in on the tackle. I don't even know how teams do that. I mean, every team kind of has that player that can do that. It's unreal to watch him play. Tampa hasn't had that in 15 years, so it's good to have.
Yeah, I'm ready to get this draft over with and get to next season. I know you're not. You're kind of biting it, but the Bucks, they're starting to look good. That Falcons game was kind of iffy. Second half was really good, but after that game against the Lions, you gotta feel pretty comfortable heading into the postseason. I'm over it. I'm ready for it to be over. I could give a rat's ass less who comes out of the AFC. We all know we both have a pocketbook, a little bit of rent on the Bucks to win it. But yeah, you got to be excited with, like you said, Gronk's a little early on it, but if he gets open, that's going to open up a hell of a lot more for Godwin, and then AB in the slot as well. And then now we can throw it over top to Mike
Single
Evans.
coverage, Mike Evans. Okay.
And keep that run game up. That offense looks like it could put up 40 on everybody.
Well, we have one more game. Oh, yeah, go ahead. It's
another week down, and Green Bay is looking fucking good.
Yeah, but luckily, like something that I haven't been able to talk about with my quarterbacks, and I know Brady is 43 or whatever he is, but if we have to travel to Lambeau in the playoffs, he will at least understand cold weather. Most Tampa Bay quarterbacks don't. Most Tampa Bay quarterbacks, the same with Drew Brees, how he's had the knock of you play in a dome all the time, you can't play in cold weather. Same with Peyton Manning, all that. Well, Tom Brady has played for 20 seasons in the freezing cold in the middle of December and January. So he's going to be used to that. He's ready. And that gives me a little bit of hope. We've already beaten Green Bay once. And so at least we have a game plan. Obviously there will be a tweak, but our game plan at least has legs against them initially. So hopefully, but yeah, they look good. But what I was going to say is, what was I going to say? Oh, we have one more game against the Falcons, so we can see if we can continue rolling, if we look more like the second half Bucks. And then if we do that, then we will be facing the winner of the NFC East in the first round of the playoffs, which we could talk about that in just a minute. We still don't know who's going to win the NFC East, but we know that it won't be Philadelphia. But Dallas, your boys, your NFC team, I guess a lot of times when you're watching, they looked really good. And if Philly can pull it out against Washington, then Dallas has a real shot as well. But either way, I'd rather play them than any of these other teams. And then I'd honestly rather go to Green Bay with that second round than I would want to go to the Superdome, just because the Saints have our number. So I'm kind of happy in that regard. I think that that we're set up for the track that best benefits us. If you're not going to be the number one seed, obviously that's the track that best benefits you. But I truly would like to go to Lambeau and play that hot Packers team than go try to deal with Sean Payton one more time, because he has our number and I don't know why.
Yeah, that defense really looked good against Tennessee, man. I thought going into that when I woke up and saw the Tennessee center walking barefoot and then going and seeing the pictures of the Tundra 2 hours before, like they're sitting there having to shovel snow off hours before the game. And I'm like, okay, these guys have Derrick Henry. This is going to go all into Tennessee's favor. Green Bay's kind of screwed here. And I got my words thrown right in my mouth. And Aaron Rodgers can
The
sling
MVP
that
is pretty
shit,
much a
dude.
lock at this point.
That was an
in my
amazing
opinion.
performance. In that weather and that environment against that Tennessee team, he made them look like child's play.
As long as he doesn't blow it against the Bears, I think he's the MVP, because he'll have the number one seed. Yeah, Pat Mahomes has the number one seed already locked up, but he just hasn't looked as good in these last couple weeks. So, but if Green Bay ends up losing and dropping down to the third seed, then maybe not. But I think as long as they take care of the Bears, they'll be fine, and he'll win the MVP. After he was just washed up, my Packers buddy texted me and he said, "Hey, I thought Rodgers was just washed up last year and they were ready to get rid of him."
Yeah, so. Seemed that way. I forgot what I was going to say.
It happens. So before we keep going with the NFL, I know we just jumped right into it after the introduction, but I wanted to give a shout out to the 2021 MLB World Series champions, the Tampa Bay Rays. Congrats. No, not really. They lost, obviously, to the Dodgers. But no, seriously, the San Diego Padres is who I wanted to shout out. They're going to potentially win the division. Obviously, the Dodgers are still stacked, but San Diego is making moves. We're not here to talk about baseball in the offseason, but they are making moves. They got Blake Snell. They got some guy from Korea that's apparently like one of the Korean MVP frontrunners or whatever. And then they also got an old Korean MVP and Yu Darvish. So, man, they are looking like they're ready to continue this onslaught that they had last year. If Tatis can jump into an MVP run, and then Machado does Machado things, and now their pitching staff is where it is, then the Dodgers have a lot to worry about, because we still seem confident to sit with Kenley Jansen and hope for the best. So we might have a lot to worry about.
And we all know how the Blake Snell ending happened in the World Series. What was it, like 5 1/3 gets pulled for no reason besides the Rays manager, and that's his philosophy. And do you feel like they were trying to mend it, and he looked them dead in the face and said, "Fuck you,
absolutely,
I'm done. Like, I will never sign an extension here. I'm going to hate being here. I will do my job, but get fucked." And they're like, "All right, we're going to go get the whole San Diego Padres AAA team then."
Well, he probably pulled a James Harden with them and just did it behind closed doors, which is the way it should be done. I mean, if you're unhappy, absolutely talk to management. We've never said that, at least on this podcast, we've never said that the players should just shut up and dribble or anything like that. But if he did it that way behind closed doors and said, "Listen, I'm just not going to play for you guys. Get what you can. I'm willing to stay quiet and let you guys get a good package, but get me out of here." I think that's the best way to do it. We're speculating. We don't know that that's what happened, but I could easily see that happening, because in the post-game conference, he was not happy about getting taken out. So if that happened, though, more props to him. That's the way I'd like to see players handle it if that is what happened.
Yeah, for sure. Be quiet about it. And also, it's the off season and stuff like that. He didn't. Whoa. Sorry about that.
Sounded like you were getting Chinese over there.
Yeah,
what's going on?
It was replaying that video I showed you of the rap sheet. But why does he keep doing this? I am so sorry. Let me get off of that page. But yeah, I like that, but it also benefits that it's the off season and it's the major leagues. They are not getting hounded, and they're not in the forefront as much as NBA players and NFL players. So yeah, it's a little easier for him to do it that way. But yeah, that'd be amazing to see, especially players like James Harden, who have all these people look up to. Like, I mean, there's not a lot of people that look up to Major League pitchers, and when they do, they're probably not going to look up to Blake Snell. There's probably going to be the Trevors and the big guys like that, the Kershaws, and so yeah, you like to see it. You got to tip the cap to them and hope that that happens more often because it's starting to get ugly with this James Harden. What's his old GM?
Daryl Morey.
Yeah,
That guy
he just
just
got
needs to
fined.
get off Twitter, dude.
Yeah, he just needs to shut up. But just all that stuff, it needs to go back to being behind closed doors. I kind of miss the 90s of not having to pay bills and all that stuff and being a child, but not having all the information of anything that you want to know right at your fingertips, and just that wanting more and then just being in all these guys' faces. You can see in all these, if I was James Harden, I wouldn't want to play the games just because I having to do the media sessions afterwards.
I know, right? Did you see what
he's
Russell
visibly
Westbrook said,
pissed
though?
off.
He was straight up.
Hell yeah. Stayed in my business and stayed out of yours.
That's awesome.
That was great. But I love it. And it sucks that it's not like that in the NBA. But that's what the NBA has turned into in the last 10 years. You don't have these 88 to 85s and everybody leaves. Now you have social media bullshit. You have Clipper tunnel gate stuff happening. It's only going to get worse from here, dude.
Yeah, it is. Well, let's flip back to football. James Harden gets about a 30-minute reprieve while we talk about football. But so I mentioned that the NFC East is pretty much all that's up for grabs, except for that AFC, just like all wild card seeding, which we'll talk about. But the NFC East is the only division still up for grabs, and really it's the only playoff spot still up for grabs, because I think what's that?
The AFC, I think the AFC South is still, it could still, well, it's
but
it's between the Colts and
it's whoever wins, because they play each other, right? Or do they play?
No, I think we played the Colts and they played the Texans.
Oh, okay. So they're basically both going to win and both get in and be fine.
So. Well, they're both going to get in. I think they're both going to get in.
Well, they have to both
win,
Dolphins, though, because
the Dolphins have to be. I'm sorry.
We can shift to the AFC. So the Dolphins, the Ravens, the Browns, the Titans, and the Colts are all 10-5. Obviously, whichever team wins out of the Titans and Colts are an automatic in, not out of them, but if Tennessee wins, they're automatically the division champ. But those 5 teams are all 10-5. One of them has to get eliminated. So 4 out of those 5 guys are going to make it. And which one are you thinking? You're thinking the Dolphins?
The Dolphins are out.
I think the Browns are out because I think they're still going to lose to the Steelers.
Really?
I don't know who has the tiebreaker between the Browns and the Dolphins, though. But
if they're both sitting, like if Ben's sitting, if Josh Allen's sitting, if Juju's sitting, if Stiggs is sitting, and whatnot, I feel like it comes down to the better coach team, and it's weird to say that can't even think of his name right now. Starts with an S. Whatever the fucking guy, Bills, Sean McDermott. There we go. He's the better coach right now over
Brian
Mike
Flores
Tomlin.
Is a good. Oh, I thought you were talking about.
No, I'm talking about the teams that they're playing. So
Gotcha.
It's going to be a lot harder for the Dolphins to beat the Bills backups being coached by McDermott than it is going to be for the Browns to beat a team coached and playing like asshole right now, and the Steelers and Tomlin.
Yeah, but Fitzmagic is here, dude, and he's gonna start week 17, I think, of course, right? And he's just gonna do his thing. Fitzmagic is ready.
If he starts, they need to get a visor for him that's about 150, whatever the scale is, so he can't see anything, because that heave at the end was spectacular.
Dude, yeah, but this is like one of the best. Oh, my cat is going crazy. Hey.
Oh, Koa Bean.
So this is one of the best week 17s we're going to have in a long time, because I think most of the teams are going to keep playing their people. Houston and Jacksonville are going to play their guys, because neither one, you guys can win and you're still the number 1 seed. So you might as well play your best team, especially if you're going to replace your quarterback anyway. But I don't think Minshew will start. It's Glennon, right?
No, yeah. Gardner is the best backup quarterback in history.
So, and then of course, Cleveland playing Pittsburgh is just, I think Pittsburgh might be better off without Ben right now. And he's going to need that rest to see what's happening. Like you said, Miami and Buffalo. Buffalo still wants to win because they want to pass the Steelers. So they're going to be playing Josh Allen, in my opinion, and which they've won Monday night, right? I know we're recording, but they're winning tonight, right?
Yeah, they're up.
So they're going to want to
Big.
win so that they can pass the Steelers because they think that the Browns will win too. So I think both teams, maybe not Ben. Mike Tomlin might sit Ben. Just they're reeling. They don't care about that second seed. They just need to figure their shit out. So he might rest, but I think the Bills are going to play their entire team. I think they want that second seed. And it's going to be hard for Miami. So I'm with you on that, but I don't think it's because Sean McDermott's a better coach. I think the Bills are going to be playing full strength. I think they're going to win. But I think the Colts are going to lose. I think you guys are going to put it down.
Dude, that'd be great. I have respect for the Colts as an organization, but fuck them because they always win the AFC South. So that would be absolutely amazing for us to go and beat the Colts twice in 1 year. I think we've only done it one other time, and that was when Andrew Luck. It was the year between
Jacoby
Manning. The year
Oh.
between Manning and Luck, whenever they only won 2 games that season.
Gotcha.
I think that was the only time we've beaten them twice. I could be wrong, but yeah, that'd be absolutely insane. But shout out to the Jaguars and our organization for coming out week 1, beating the shit out of the Colts, letting the world know that if we wanted to, we could be a good 12-4 team, but we're going to put it in the bag. We're going to get that trend. What did they call it? The generational talent that is Trevor Lawrence. So we just won the first week, let everybody in the AFC South know that we'll smack you in the mouth if we have to, but we're going to put it in the bag this year. We're going to get that number 1 pick, and I'm excited as a shit for next year, bro. That's why I said I could care less about this last week in the playoffs, besides the Tampa and the podcast.
Right.
And I'm ready for it to be over. I'm sick of working 12-hour Sundays and ready to get some rest.
Well, next season looks really good for you guys, regardless of your Trevor Lawrence figure, but just from the rest of the division, it looks pretty good for you guys. The Colts are going to continue to just get worse. Philip Rivers is not going to get better as he gets older. And the Texans are where you guys were 2-3 years ago.
Yeah.
So they're falling off the map.
I feel like Deshaun Watson's gone. He's going to try to figure out a way to get out of there. Philip Rivers is only on a 1-year contract. So best case scenario, they do re-sign him in my eyes. And then in Tennessee, that's just what we're trying to catch up to, the king over there.
And running backs have a short shelf life for the most part. So who knows how long he's going to be the rushing leader.
Tannehill's still playing out of this world. And he always surprises me with his speed, man. He had a run the other night that was just insane.
I was a Tannehill truther for a long time when he was shitty. So I'm happy to see that he's actually doing good things.
Yeah, for sure. But I don't know, man. I'm just ready to get back. I want to go back to 2017.
Yeah, I bet. So let's move to the NFC now. We already have. Is it 7 out of 8 in there too? Because obviously the NFC East team is separate, but then there's still one more wild card slot to find, right? Out of Chicago, and Arizona, right? It's just those two that are the ones fighting for it.
Pretty sure.
Unless the Rams lose, maybe Arizona can jump the Rams. I don't really know, but
not yet. No, the Rams are in.
No, they're not clinched. So I guess if the Rams lose and the Bears and Cardinals win, then the Rams might be eliminated as well. They don't have an X next to their name on ESPN, at least.
Nice.
So I don't think the Rams are going to lose, but Jared Goff had surgery, so he's not playing. And the Bears are going to lose to Green Bay, though, either way. So
they don't have the boat anymore. That's what they get for giving up the boat. Should have kept them as your backup.
But I don't even know who their backup is. Now, since they had all the COVID stuff, and I have no clue who they might be playing, but I don't think that they lose and Arizona and Chicago wins. I think Chicago loses to Green Bay, and I don't know who Arizona's playing against, but they have the best chance, in my opinion, to get in, unless Chicago backs in out of nowhere. But either team that makes it in is going to lose to either New Orleans or Seattle. So let's talk about the NFC East. Like I said earlier, that's the one that I'm pretty sure there's only 2 teams that have a chance. I don't know, because the Giants play the Cowboys, right? And then, so I guess the Giants are not eliminated. So if the Giants beat the Cowboys and Washington loses, the Giants are in. If Washington loses and Dallas beats the Giants, Dallas is in. And then if Washington wins, they're in regardless. Yeah. So what do you think is the outcome of this? I like that the NFC East all plays each other. I think that's happening in all of the teams for 2020 this year. So at least. But anyways, Washington playing Philly, Dallas playing New York. Who do you have coming out of the NFC East as the champ?
It's going to be Washington.
You think so? They have some quarterback controversy we got to talk about.
Yeah, and that's why I have to say it's going to be Washington. They don't have Dwayne going to put them in trouble and just.
Yeah, but who's that other guy? Who's the guy that's starting?
I have no idea.
Said Alex Smith is probably out still.
Yeah, Alex Smith is. I don't think he's going to play. I don't even see what it is right here. I don't know. They don't want to show me the roster on this stupid app that I'm not going to give them a name for. But yeah, I don't know his name, but he played great. Not great, but he managed the game really well to come in again and take after Dwayne. So you got to give it – the only reason I'm giving it to Washington is because they're playing the Eagles.
Yeah, but Jalen looks pretty good, man.
He can't win a game. He can't get the wins going, and I'm not too confident. They came out firing against the Cowboys, and then the Cowboys just took off. Turned on the Jets, yeah, man, and just went crazy. So I don't see Washington losing. If they do lose, then it's going to be Dallas.
Yeah, I see Dallas easily beating the Giants. The Giants went back to Daniel Jones, and he's still not that good of a quarterback. So, yeah, Dallas is going to do their thing there. It's up to Washington, and I have faith in Jalen Hurts, man. I don't think he's going to let this team go to the wayside, but it could be the Cowboys' year, man. Every Cowboys fan says that every single year.
Dude, they have weapons.
They do, and they're so underachieving. They're so badly coached, and they deal with injuries and all this stuff that happens, and this could be the year. They could be there.
It is cool to see them playing.
Is the guy that they're having to try to beat, right? So it's kind of funny.
It is cool to see them coming together and playing as a team, and you see them celebrating and having fun again. And just a couple weeks ago, it looked like Mike McCarthy was going to get fired in the season, and you had players coming out talking about the coaching staff and all this shit. So that's what I like to see. Hopefully they do get in. That'd be great to see. But realistically, I don't see Washington losing to the Eagles. I don't see the Eagles being able to put up more than like 14, 17 points.
Right.
On
that's probably possible.
So that's the way I see it going down. Hopefully next year we'll rearrange a little bit and we'll end up in the NFC. And oh yeah, we're on the East Coast, so we'd be in the NFC East too. So
right.
That's what I want.
All right, just quick answer for you because this is going to affect my call. Is the NFL as rigged as the NBA is? Is it easy to rig the NFL games as easy as the NBA games?
Did Tom Brady come back from 25 down?
All I'm saying, I agree with you, and that's why somehow
Miles Jack was not down.
Somehow, some way, the New York Giants are going to win the NFC East so that they can host Tom Brady one more time. The storyline has to fit. And this is the NFL's best chance because the Giants aren't going to be like a good playoff team for many, many years. So they have a chance right now. One game. It just takes one game. The Giants are going to find a way to sneak in, and they're going to host Tom Brady once again. And Tom's going to get them back so that the storyline can end for that.
That'd be
Although
awesome.
The NFL doesn't like Brady, so he might lose again, and the Giants might move on to the next round. No, I think it's going to, as a Tampa Bay fan, I hope it's the Giants, but I think it's going to be Washington. I'd rather it be Washington. I think they're the better team, but like you said, Dallas has too much talent, and I would be too scared to just be able to let them hang 50 on us. Like Washington's never going to be that team. They're the better all-around team, but they're never going to hang 50 on you. So I'd rather go up against
Washington.
Them.
You get 21 points on the board, then you're pretty safe. But it's going to be hard as fuck to get them 21 points on the board.
Yeah,
but with Dallas, it doesn't know. You don't know what Dallas team is going to show. They could get 3 first downs in the whole game, or they could put up 50 on you.
So I'm pulling for Washington as a Tampa Bay fan, and I think we can get past any of them. So hopefully that's the case. But now, just real quick, you said that Green Bay looks like the team. They're rolling like the team. Anybody in the AFC that you're as worried about, or is it just you think it's Green Bay's trophy to lose if they don't fuck up.
It's wide open. I mean, I've been pretty harsh on Kansas City, and you had to remind me a couple weeks ago that they've only lost one game because every time I watch them, they just don't look good. And then all of a sudden, it's weird, especially in the NFL when there's fucking 53 guys, there's 22 people on the field. It takes every person working at their peak to be able to get a win.
Right.
And for all fucking 22 guys on offense, or fucking like 30 guys when all the subs and stuff are all able to just turn on the switch at one time and take over the last 12 minutes of a game and pull out a fucking 10, 14-point victory is insane to see. So I think that's got to be scary. If you're in the NFC, you don't want to see Kansas City because you could be up 21, 24 points heading into the fourth and you still come out with the L in the Super Bowl. But other than that, yeah, I'd be worried about the Bills right now a little bit. Josh Allen is turning into a hell of a quarterback.
I'm not worried about the Bills.
And that defense is suspect, but like with Tre'Davious White, he's either the best cornerback in the league or he's getting burnt and throwing jelly on him.
What about the Ravens? I know you're not a huge
Ravens
fan, but they're bouncing back. They're looking hot the last couple weeks.
And they're going to get bounced out in the first game again. I'm not worried about the Ravens at all. Yeah, they got a lot of people on defense. You're welcome. But yeah, no, I'm not worried about the Ravens until they can prove in crunch time in the big games that Lamar can get it done and they can get it done. They're not even the same team that they were at the end of the last year with their camaraderie and stuff like that. But yeah, you can see the fight coming out of them. But no, I'm not worried about the Ravens. The Bills, I'd say the Bills probably and Kansas City are the only two teams that I'm really not wanting to see in the Super Bowl. Other than that, I mean, no.
If I had to rank my favorites to come out of the playoffs, I think Tampa Bay would be up in the top 5 or 6, which I know there's 14 teams this year. So, hey, that's kind of good. But yeah, I would put KC, probably Buffalo, Green Bay, New Orleans. That's what I meant to say. Above us, but I can see us being 5. If you want to put Seattle ahead of us, I can see us being 6, but I'm not really worried about any of the other teams. And we've played New Orleans, we've beaten Green Bay. We can play with Seattle. Seattle looks like they've had hiccups in the past, so I'm pretty confident. I'm still happy. I'm back on the train. A couple weeks ago on the pod, I was a little bit wishy-washy, but I didn't rip up my bets. My bets are there. My bets are ready. Vegas better be ready because I'm coming.
Yeah, I'm going to go get an envelope next week. Get that thing ready.
Get ready to mail that bad boy out. All right, so let's take a break real quick and let's talk about our sponsor, Manscaped. They are here to help. It's getting cold again out here. Again, I say again, but it's actually starting to get cold here. Merry Christmas to all you guys, and Happy New Year is coming up as well. It's that time of year. It's getting cold. You got to wear warm clothes, but with warm clothes comes sweaty balls, and Manscaped is ready to stop that. They don't want the sweaty balls. They don't want the stinky balls. They want you to have the perfect balls for your significant other or for yourself, however you roll. I don't know. But they're here to help us with your junk.
For sure. And if you're like me, you like to keep the bush down there a little bit. I finally shaved it, but when I did
all the way?
Yeah, it's not all the way. No, I keep the guard on, bro. Hell no.
All right.
But no, when I don't and I'm at work and stuff, it kind of gets a little chafy down there and a little moist and stuff. And that crop, I'm going to talk about it every damn time.
Hey,
that crop
talk
preserver
about it.
Is the way to go. Now you're probably keeping the heater on at your house, so whenever you get up to leave and stuff, it's a little sweatier.
Right there.
Yeah, it's a little sweatier down there than normal because it's freaking 78 degrees in your household right now when it's 55 degrees outside. So what you need to do is get some of this crop preserver, slap it on down there, and you're good to go for the day.
And I'm going to bring back an old favorite. If you want to get the ball wipes, they are perfect for that. Because if you do get a little sweaty, because it happens, man. Yeah, the crop preserver is going to keep you from getting as sweaty. But sometimes if you like to keep, maybe you don't like to shave with the guard, like Sil says, you want to keep at least a little bit down there. You're still going to get sweaty. But the ball wipes are basically moist towelettes from Outback Steakhouse, bro. But they smell like Manscaped stuff. So you just grab them, you throw them down there, clean them up. You got the drying aspect of getting your balls dry, but then it also has that pH balance with it. That's much like that crop reviver spray that I talk about. But the ball wipes work to kind of dry it off, but then also get that ball reviver smell on there. It's the best of both worlds, and then you're ready to hit the strip.
Yeah, and I really do like that, the fragrance. I don't know what it is, but it's definitely, they put that in everything. Even the
It's the
cologne
same
smells
smell
like
and
it.
everything.
Yeah, but it smells good. It smells clean. I like it. Whenever I go to wash my hands off from the crop preserver, it lingers. So about 10, 15 minutes later, when I go to hit my vape, I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, it's definitely a distinct smell, but it's a good smell. Women most of the time don't know what it is. I haven't had any be like, is that Manscaped? But I have been told I smell good. So it's a good smell. Use it. But anyways, if you get the Perfect Package 3.0, you get these cool gifts. We've talked about them. We've shown them before. We might have to pull them back out, even though we missed the Christmas special. But you get a cool bag. You get a cool pair of boxer briefs that I'm not wearing. And you get all that, and you get free shipping. You get 20% off. I don't know. I don't like to go to the ending this early because we love Manscaped. We want to give them a bit of love, but we talk about them all the time, and you get all that stuff. Buy the Perfect Package. I'm telling you, they probably have a deal going on right now. But then if you go to manscaped.com, you enter the code no scrubs, all one word, you'll get 20% off of whatever that is and free shipping. And it's perfect. Now's the time, man. Use that Christmas money you bought if you have to buy it for yourself. Do it. It's worth it. Even if you're single, I'm single. It's worth it. Do it. Your partner, your body, your balls will thank you.
Hell yeah. Real
All
quick,
right.
since we're talking, we said Christmas, I just want to shout out Baby Girl real quick. If you're looking at us on YouTube right now, you see I'm looking good, and my lamp, my wall's bright. I got the lamp over there. It's not in my face anymore. Baby Girl's mother got me a nice one of those cool little round LED little camera things. And if you notice, we haven't had any lag either. That's always on my end. Baby Girl got me a lappy. Got me a new lappy. It's really cool. Try to get on Fall Guys a little bit. I don't fall down every time I jump anymore, but it's still laggy as shit. But shout out to Baby Girl and her family. They're the best. Oh, yeah, she got me the Ogauskas Hardwood Classic rookie jersey. I love it. It's way more breathable than the new ones, and it doesn't have, you know, how the new ones kind of have that little thing that comes out this way and then up. It's the old school, fits comfortably. I like it a lot. I love her so much.
Well, shout out to your baby girl for doing that, but also shout out to your team for giving you an undefeated record so far.
Hey, yo.
The Cavs looking like they're gonna make some noise, not make some noise, but they're gonna make some people upset on any given night. They're gonna be that team that you don't want to fuck with.
And thankfully, we're in the East, so we really could sneak.
You actually could make some noise.
Eight seed, yeah. And I love the ball that we're playing right now. When we first got rid of LeBron the first time, we acquired some good picks. We got Kyrie. We got Tristan. We got that fuckhead. I forget his name. Anthony. Shit.
I don't know.
Anthony Bennett maybe was his name or something like that. He was the number one pick.
Oh yeah.
The year before Bennett. Kyrie. And we were trying to do some things, but we didn't get a team really that gelled together and played good basketball. And what JD has going on right now is awesome. I love the basketball that we're playing. Everybody on the team has like 5 or 6 assists, except Colin Sexton. He still only has 3.
He's the scorer, bro.
But I got to put my foot in my mouth with him. He's been playing lights out. He really could end up, if we did have a 45-50 win season, could be in the MVP talk, because I think he is going to be the scorer on that team.
I can definitely see the most improved player talk if you guys do something like that, for sure. But
well, I mean, he was the guy last year, but I like everybody's
the guy for like the worst team in the league. So
shut up. Darius Garland is playing a lot more aggressive this year too. And then we have that rookie Okoro out of Auburn, who is not afraid of anybody in the NBA and is playing great defense as well. Jetty's coming out balling. I'm loving it. And then we have the could-be defensive player of the year just dominating people right now. And have you noticed there's a lot of hair in the NBA this year?
There is.
Everybody has hair.
It's that quarantine hair still, bro.
Everybody has hair.
Steph's got his weird little cornrows.
Yeah,
his braids, whatever. Yeah, man, it's quarantine hair. But I'm gonna stick with the East. But I do want to say that Tom Brady ended the longest drought that we've had, playoff drought, 7 years. And I'm thinking that Chris Paul is coming in to save us from our drought as well. Obviously, I'm a Suns fan. and it's looking good. It's looking like we can at least compete. Now we just have to not get injuries, not have Aiton go down for performance enhancing drugs or weed juice or whatever the hell he was doing last year.
Kava, bruh.
And Mikal Bridges looks amazing. He looks like the better Bridges guy right now, which Miles was better, but he was just a dunk highlight reel in Charlotte. But Mikal looks really good right now. He's hitting shots. Cam Johnson looks finally like the guy that should have been picked as high as he was picked. So that's exciting. Our Jalen Smith, our rookie, does not look like Okoro. He doesn't look good at all. It's so, I don't know what the Suns do, man. I'm on a hype train right now, so I don't want to talk too much shit, but they drafted this guy way too high, as they did Cam Johnson, and they're doing the exact same thing they did with Cam Johnson. They said, no, he's a project. We're going to like work him in. And to their credit, Cam Johnson, like I said, is doing better. But why are they drafting these guys so high? Trade down, do something. You could have drafted Jalen Smith, just like I said, Cam Johnson. You could have drafted Jalen Smith 20th instead of 10th. And like, they're just so scared to trade a pick. Our team won't trade picks. Our GM probably doesn't know how to trade picks. No offense to you. Not you, but our GM. But I don't think he understands trades. They're too nuanced for him. So he's just gonna pick with his pick, which is fine, whatever. But it looks like we could turn that around. We could actually be a team that's worth fighting with. But we've seen our team bounce or go really good early on and then have some stupid dumb thing, like I mentioned earlier, happen to ruin us. So we just have to keep that unlocked. Other than that, Monty Williams is going to hold them to the fire, and they're going to be good. So,
oh, dude, and you saw game one. He was, I don't know. Well, I just saw a clip. I was trying to watch the game. I had it on something, but he was giving it to somebody on the bench, one of the players during a timeout, and I love to see that. You got to have that nowadays, and that's why Stan Van Gundy's back coaching and Frank Vogel's in LA.
I completely forgot that Stan Van Gundy was back coaching, and I saw him on the sidelines, and I thought it was the announcer sidelines. I was like, what is he doing over there? He doesn't even look like he's talking or anything. I was like, oh shit, that's the team he's coaching. I forgot.
Yeah, man.
Props to him.
I love it. I absolutely love it. You can't baby these guys, man. I mean, they're some of these guys, the LeBrons, the ADs, they can do whatever the hell they want because they're going to give you 40 a game if you want them to. But a lot of these guys, the Terry Rozier tier people, right, always wanting to just be prima donnas. You see them go to the timeouts and just walk and sit down, get their towel, and they don't even listen. They don't even look at the clipboard and shit like that. That I hate to see that. You're at work right now, bro. Do your job. And I like that coaches like Monty are still around.
Well, then let's shift to the players and let's talk about somebody that embodies the good parts of what you're saying and that you will probably like. And the NBA seems to like him. He won the Eastern Conference Player of the Year, Domantas Sabonis from the Pacers. This boy came out hot, and he, to your credit, every time they call a timeout, I see him up in there. He wants to hear. He wants to know what's going on, and he just continues to look better. He was not expected to look good. He got traded from the team that drafted him. Was it Minnesota? Somebody. They drafted him and then got rid of him because he wasn't any good. And now he's the Eastern Conference Player of the week. He's leading Indiana. They're 3-0 now. And he doesn't care who else is out there. He's doing his work. He's trying to be like his daddy. And it looks like it's working out. I just want to shout out him. I don't really care about Indiana, but shout out to Domantas there.
Yeah, that's crazy. And they look like a team that, like, they're scary. But what happened with Oladipo? Like, what's he doing?
I think he's still there. I don't know. I mean, he's still on their team, I'm pretty sure. I think he's just hanging out.
That's crazy. Then I doubt he's hanging out. He's probably playing in the games. But
I have no clue what he's doing.
That's crazy that he's supposed to be the talent on that team, and then somebody else is out here getting Player of the Week, week 1, showing off. But that team looks scary. They look like a team that's going to be able to get like a 4 or 5 seed. And by the end of it, the East could be just as strong as the West from top to bottom. Maybe not talent-wise, just tough teams to beat. If the Pacers are like that, you already have the Celtics, you have the Nets. What else do you have?
The Hawks look like
Heat,
they're going to be.
And then you have the Hawks, the Raptors, the Pacers, the Cavs. You just from top to bottom, you're going.
The Magic looking good.
Yeah, It really does. It looks like one of the few years that top to bottom in both conferences, it's going to be really solid teams that are going to be hard to beat in 7 games.
Do you think there's just not too much is the wrong word, but too much talent in the NBA? Like just there's so much talent that you can have these teams all be pretty good.
Yeah.
Which I think is good, but it's also bad because you have the Hardens wanting to go to another team because the weeks or it's too hard for him to do on his own.
But I also feel like that's going to kind of shape out too, because we don't have like coming out, we're not having a lot of these guys being in the league, getting traded, being the 6th man of the year and getting traded to be the guy for a team and shit like that. It's more all these guys are really fucking good. We got a lot of Jason Tatums and Jaylen Browns everywhere around the league.
Yeah.
And it's just everybody knows about these two because they're the Boston Celtics and they're on every fucking night. But so I don't think we're going to have a lot of the James Hardens bickering and all that stuff because there's just going to be so many players in 5 years that, okay, well, if you don't want to be here, you can go. We'll get another guy who wants to be here who's going to cost us probably $20 million less and it's going to be way better than you in 2 years.
Yeah. Well, so I have a question for you as far as winning the championship is concerned. In your eyes, if you're a GM, if you're an owner, take LeBron James off the table because he's obviously a tier above everyone else, and take the Golden State Warriors off the table from when they were winning championships because they had 4 superstars. But if you were building a team, would you rather have the Giannis level, like single superstar, or would you rather have the duo of Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum trying to go? And neither team has won yet, the Celtics nor the Bucks. But which strategy would you want to go with? 2 second-tier guys or 1 super-tier guy and then a couple of all-stars?
I want the 1 good tier guy and a couple people around him, but I don't want Giannis. I am not on the Giannis train whatsoever. And I feel like it's going to be a bad year for the Bucks, man. Drew doesn't look like he's gelling with that team, and they better figure it out. There's only 72 games this year. I mean, that's
and the Nets are already 2-2, so struggling.
Yeah, but I mean, and Dinwiddie's done. So yeah man. And
so you'd rather have the superstar though?
Yeah, actually, yeah. I'll talk about that later. Yeah, I'd rather have the superstar and work around him. It's a lot easier at the end of the game. Well, I mean, I guess with Boston, Tatum
he becomes that guy. Yeah,
that agent O.
But Jaylen could easily be the guy that leads the team in scoring every single night. And that's kind of what I meant. Like you understood what I was saying. But for the listeners, I meant like either Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum could go as the scoring leader every single game, whereas Giannis is going to be the scoring leader every single game, no matter what, even if he's having a bad game. So
yeah, I'd rather have Giannis and build around him and know that at the end of the day, I got 1 guy.
Yeah,
to get the job
I
done.
would definitely rather have
Giannis,
a guy that you can get the ball to in the 4th quarter.
Give me AD.
Okay.
Give me AD and let me build a team around him, and the
Pelicans tried that.
Many fucking ships.
The Pelicans tried that. It didn't win too many ships.
They didn't bring him any talent around him.
That's true. It's hard to do in New Orleans, but yeah, if you're at a real team, or you could just go grab KD and Kyrie
real
and
team.
Somehow,
if you're a team with a shit ton of money,
somehow figure it out with KD and Kawhi.
Why the salary cap's so stupid.
Yeah, I know. Do you ever play GM mode or anything in friggin' 2K? Salary cap is hard as shit. It's so hard.
Yeah.
I got all the best people, and then it's like, oh, next year, sorry, you can't keep them. Get out of here.
Yep.
So, all right. What were you going to bring up before?
I just wanted to shout out Dylan Windler, Cavs. He got drafted 2 years ago now, I believe.
At the Wisconsin
He was on.
Where is he from?
Butler.
Oh.
He was the Butler dude on that team with them. Not the baby-faced assassin kid, but the other one. The other white kid that was splashing.
Okay.
But I saw him last year. He was in the G League a little bit. I saw him last year when me and Baby Girl went to the Heat Cavs game. Nice. And he was doing his pre-workouts and all that stuff. Didn't start at all last year, but he finally got I think he started, if I'm not mistaken. First game of the season, comes out, finally all this hard work paying off, and he fucks his wrist up and he's injured. And it's not like bad, but he's going to be out a couple months, I feel like. So thoughts and prayers to him. Shout out to him for getting the job done. He's not one of those guys that are always going to get into the league. It's always iffy with those type of
Right.
players. They can just sit around the G League. They can end up in Greece or China or anything like that. But he stuck to it. He got the work done, and he's on the way. He's with the team, and he's getting workouts done while the team's sitting there stretching and all that shit. So I really liked to see that, and he became one of my favorites at that point.
Nice.
So it was really cool to see him get time, and it really sucked to see him hurt his wrist. So thoughts and prayers to him, and shout out to him.
The Suns don't have one of those guys, which is fine with me. We just have Devin Booker doing Devin Booker things. But so let's talk about the West now. The West looks, like you said, it's a lot either more even with the East or just maybe even worse, at least at the top. You have the Lakers. We don't need to talk about the Lakers. We know what the Lakers can do. But then all the other teams that everybody expected are all there. Everyone's looking fine. Portland had Dame go off to win an overtime game against the Rockets. The Mavericks are the only team looking weak right now. And then, of course, the Pelicans, the Clippers, all those guys are still doing their thing. But the Mavericks, and the reason I brought this up, the Mavericks were looking weak, and they got to play the Clippers without Kawhi, and they no longer looked weak, at least that game. They set an NBA record 50-point lead at halftime. They ended up winning by like 51, but it was 77-27 at halftime. I looked at that score and I refreshed my thing because I thought it was glitching and not showing me what the actual score was. So that was nuts, dude. I didn't tune in until the second half because I saw that. And so obviously they weren't trying anymore in the second half, but it was crazy. I saw some of the highlights and the Clippers couldn't get anything to go. It was,
man. Playoff P was in full effect
for sure.
Night. And that just
so what do you think Kawhi is doing here, man? Like he's got to be gone now, right? Because he only did his 2-year deal. George got his extension. Kawhi hasn't done shit. You think he's like, you know what? I was wrong. Fuck this. I'm out.
Yeah, I mean, and I feel like the moves they made would have been good like 4 years ago. Get Ibaka and Batum 4 years ago. That they tried, but yeah, he's gone. Kawhi is just going to ride out this season and end up a 5-6 seed and get knocked out the first round of the playoffs and take off.
And go take LeBron's place and play with AD?
God, I fucking hope not. I do not want the Lakers to be on top for much longer. But yeah, that was a crazy game to see. And Luka is going to be a problem this year. And if everybody around him plays the way they did in that game,
Suns made him look normal, baby.
Then they're going to be crazy.
Yeah. No, Luka is so good. I love watching Luka. Obviously, I have a love-hate relationship with Luka because we could have drafted him, and I said we should have drafted him.
It's not his fault.
No, it's not my fault either, and I can still love to watch him. But every time I watch, you know what? Watching Luka doesn't affect me. I'm just happy. I'm very happy to watch him. But when I watch the Suns and I see Ayton be a piece of shit and not do anything, then I get mad. That's when I get mad. But at least we didn't get Bagley. And the Kings are looking pretty good, but at least we didn't get Bagley. I'm happy about that. Everybody else in the top 5 was great. Who's fourth there? So it was Ayton, Bagley, Luka Trey. But who was number 4? I don't remember.
Was that ours?
I don't know. No, because that was when you got Sexton, right? Down at 7 or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So who was that draft?
That was 2 years ago.
I don't know.
I don't either.
So maybe he's not any good. I don't know. But everybody, is Bagley even doing good? I feel like I'm talking shit on Bagley. How is he doing?
Let's find out, huh?
Let's find out. We're getting near the end of the podcast anyway. Let's see. First, let's find that draft class. What was that, 2018?
Yeah. Yeah,
so DeAndre Ayton was first. Jaren Jackson Jr. So he's good too. So all of the top 5 guys have been playing really well, assuming Bagley. But still, every time I watch Ayton, I get mad that we didn't get Luka.
Yeah, I'd be pretty pissed off too, man. But at the end of the day, how would that team flow with Book and Luka? Do you think that'd be a match made in heaven? Do you think that'd be like a Steph and Clay type ordeal? Or would they butt heads? You're like, I don't give a fuck. I want to see it.
I mean, neither of them play defense still. So that's always going to be a problem. And that's why we grabbed Ayton. because he plays defense. And I get it. And again, I'm not mad with Ayton. We can win with Ayton, especially now they got Chris Paul. But Luka is Luka. Like, you need that. I don't know what's happening. But hey, Ayton is still young. Hopefully he's still doing well. He's doing okay, but he's not doing well.
And Bagley sucks.
Yeah, he lost his starting job, it looks like, to Rashawn Holmes. So ex-son right there. Oh no, he's actually started all the games, but Rashawn Holmes is still better. So, wow. Poor Marvin Bagley with a 7.91 PER.
But yeah, dude, the West really does look like, I mean, from what we've seen in the first 3 or 4 games, the West could be up for grabs down at that bottom. It could be a hell of a lot easier this year to get a playoff spot than it was last year.
I mean, I guess I'm still sorry. I'm looking and surprised at how bad Bagley is.
Yeah.
The only guy worse on his team is Glenn Robinson III. Shout out to Glenn Robinson II, who was actually good, and probably Glenn Robinson I. But Glenn Robinson III, not so much. So, anyways, sorry, I wasn't listening. But yeah, the last couple of seeds in the West could definitely be up for grabs, and I don't think the Suns are gonna have to worry about it. Like I said last week, I predicted that they would finish around 4 or 5. I think they easily have the ability to be up in that 4 or 5 range, especially when you see. I mean, the Lakers are going to do a thing, but maybe the Clippers fall off. Utah hasn't looked like Utah yet. The Nuggets, actually, we could talk about them for just a second. They don't look good. They don't look good at all. I talked about that I thought they could be the team, and then I said I reserve the right to change it whenever James Harden becomes a Nugget. But now I might need to change it without any changes. But
yeah, man, they're looking good right now against the James Harden. James Harden.
I like that one.
James Harden led Rocket.
Jokic looks good, to be fair. Jokic continues to look good. The Nuggets don't know how to play as a team. It's so weird because they have that 2-man game with Murray and Jokic, and that's all they know. That's all they have. Jokic makes them look good, and I guess I have not realized how much.
You feel like they would have learned from Gary Harris snapping off that they do really well as a team.
Yeah.
Like really fucking well. And then you have Michael Porter Jr., who's playing really good too. So now you got 4 guys who can put up 20 points a game.
They don't play defense either. None of them play defense except Gary Harris. So that's part of it.
Yeah.
They look bad. Hopefully they round into form. I like watching the Nuggets play. They have pretty basketball. If you like 2-man game with Jokic and Murray, at least. But man, they look rough. But yeah, I'm with you. The bottom seeds of the West could be up for grabs, and I think the Phoenix Suns will be up in that top 5, not having to battle it out. So,
are the Spurs and DeMar DeRozan back, even though they just lost to?
They're the exact same team that they are every single year. They're going to be right around 500, and they're going to be battling for the 8th seed, and that's pretty much it. Although there's a play-in tournament this year, right? Didn't they say there's another play-in tournament?
That'd be awesome.
I think they're doing it again this year.
I'm here for it if it is.
We'll go to Vegas.
I want to go back to. I want to live in Vegas. I mean, I don't
want to live in Vegas, but I live close enough to.
Yeah, that's. I want to live. Go there, stay a couple days, about once a month. That'd be awesome, but not have to spend fucking $500.
Well, I am ready. This is not sports related, but I am ready to get out of California for one reason only, and that is housing prices. I was looking at housing today, Sue.
Yeah, where?
In my area. I was just looking. No, I was just looking. I was just not wanting to work. So I'm looking. I found a house smaller than my 1-bedroom apartment. It was only 842 square feet.
Holy shit.
$650,000.
Are you serious?
And I texted my brother just laughing. I was like, dude, my 1-bedroom apartment's bigger than this because I have like a 900 square foot apartment. And he sent me a picture of a house in St. Johns County, Florida, that was 5 bedrooms, 4 baths for $100,000 less than my shitty little 800 square foot house. So I'm out, man. I don't think it's worth it. Like, I'm gonna be saving for 20 fucking years for a house. I'm not about that life. But anyway, that wasn't sports related, but it made me mad.
It's really it's bad here too. Because we're gonna renew this shitty apartment. But we were kind of talking and asking around and for places and stuff. Somebody was like, "Yeah, I can get you into this place. It's a two bed, two bath. It's nice." I was like, "Hell yeah, how much?" They're like, "It's just $16.50 a month." I was like, they're like, "No, that's normal for Palm Beach County." I was like, "I'm
Yeah.
sure it is, but I'll stay in the hood of Palm Beach County for $1,000 for my 1-1.
That's what
I'm paying it. I'm not paying an extra
1650 would
six.
get me a 2-2 here.
Yeah, I'm not paying extra $650 for another bathroom and bedroom when all we need is the bedroom for storage."
See, that's the thing. Like, I wish I was in your case, because in California they haven't figured out how to have cheaper apartments. Like, a 1-bedroom apartment is $1,500 a month. A 2-bedroom apartment is $1,650. Right? What? Like,
Yeah.
if it was more like yours, where it's like a 1-bedroom is actually cheaper than a 2-bedroom and whatever. But we're just like, if I had bought it, I could probably buy a 4-bedroom apartment for like $2,000. It
Well,
doesn't
yeah.
change anything.
This is, I mean, where I'm at, you gotta find the ruggedness and go there in Palm Beach County. But yeah, I'm sure it would suck if there. It doesn't matter where you are. Everything's expensive as shit.
Yeah. All right. So what else do we got for sports to end this bad boy on?
Cavs gonna go 72-0.
And still not be better than the Warriors.
Hey, when you go to look it up, NBA.com or whatever, ESPN, when you look at the standings, who's number one?
A lot of teams, but yeah, I mean, they have you guys first because you start with a C.
You think that's it?
I don't know. I think so. No, because the New Orleans Pelicans are above the LA Clippers, so that's not why.
Yeah, and the Magic or the Hawks are
so
fourth.
I don't know. Maybe it's point differential. No, it's not point differential. Points scored is how they have it, I think. No, the Hawks. Fuck, dude, I don't know.
We're just the best.
You guys are the best.
We're just number one right now. We're gonna keep the train going. I'm excited, man. I'm really excited for it.
Hey, I remember, I think it was either last year or 2 years ago, the Suns started out like 11-1, and I was excited too. And then we were ending up picking Cam Johnson and fucking too high of a stuff. So yeah. But anyway, shout out to your Cavs, man. Shout out to all the teams still undefeated in basketball. The hope is still alive. There is no Western Conference team still undefeated. So it's all the East. And hopefully you guys can do it. I'm down for that. But shout out to the 2018 draft, because they have 5 good players. We pointed that out. So.
And I hope today he came in. So I had my banner, my big ass banner, the Cavs banner. I left it at work for next time Nick comes in.
That's the owner, right?
Yeah. And I'm gonna have him. I'm gonna get him. I don't care what he writes. He can just put his name if he wants to.
What if he writes like "fuck Brandon Seal"?
I don't give a damn. I'll be like, you see that? Without that man right there, I'm probably a Magic fan.
Ugh. Hey, the Magic are doing good. But yeah, shout out to all the Eastern teams. They're still undefeated because they are better than the West, I guess. But anyways, basketball is back. We're happy. I know we sounded a little rambly, but we're just happy that basketball's here. Basketball is our sport. We love it. We're gonna do it. The Bucks.
What's that little jewelry you got there? Speaking of rambling.
This jewelry?
Yeah.
I've already shown it off on the podcast.
Oh.
It's a ring. It's Irish. Oh. It's a Claddagh ring.
A Claddagh?
Yeah, it's hard to see. It's got a little crown. It's got a heart. And it's got hands. And it means...
If you squint this way and kind of tilt your head, you can make it out.
Friendship, love, and loyalty. But anyways, it's an Irish thing. But yeah, anyways. I don't know where to go from there, but we're ending this bad boy. So, as always, be a stud, not a scrub.